Coming up in this episode of Behind the Sound.
I was so upset after I talked to the media that I went back to the hotel to grab my stuff, and I went back to the dressing room, and I just sat there the entire time. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was just focusing on him, and I said, I'm going to take his head off. I was so upset.
I'm scared just listening to this story.
I'm sitting in a dressing room.
It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's behind the sound. It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's behind the sound.
Yo, Edmonton! It's Big Joe's Laraque! Let's go! Let's bring the cup back to Edmonton!
Never fold, never flop, never back down. No, we want the cup back in E-Town. Death Row, hockey brand on my back now. Yeah, we want the cup back in E-Town. It's been a long time coming since Big G Laraque had the Hurricanes all crying and running. Competition act funny. They got a plan to take Stanley home till they come to oil country. Remember that you need a good goalie to be a winner. Forget about Bobrovsky, you could go ask Skinner. His bucket's so fast he could stop any Rockets. Chilling in his California closet. Pause it. After the finals, when Draisaitl one times it to the back of the net. Panther silent. McJesus, put it down, we need this. Please us, switch us to Kendall and Genius. Perry is scary, assisted by Nuge. Bombs away, we hit you with the boom. Yeah.
Let's go, Oilers! Let's go, Oilers!
Never fold, never flop, never back down. No, we want the cup back in E-Town. Death Row, hockey brand on my back now. Whoa, we want the cup back in E-Town. Yeah, we bringing the cup back, baby.
That's really good, man, your song. Thank you. You're good.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
You're dope. You're dope. Back in E-Town.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Behind the Sound. Let's go, Oilers, baby! I'm super excited about this episode. This is a homie who we have a history from many, many years ago, which we will talk about. But if you talk about iconic enforcers in the game, never mind for the Edmonton Oilers, you have to talk about Georges Laraque. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to welcome our next guest to the show. How are you, my brother?
Awesome, RJ. How are you, man?
Good, man. Nice to see you.
Man, it's been a long time. But I still remember what we did in the past, and it was awesome.
We did. So let's talk about that quick. Like, what was that? 2006, almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
You came to my home basement studio in Castle Downs to come and record an anthem that we rocked out for the Oilers that year against the Hurricanes at the time, right? And you came and you dropped that intro, and I appreciate you so much for that, man.
Man, the hockey shuffle, that video that we did and everything, it was awesome.
You know what,
I loved
Ethan?
it.
We got to drop a little clip of that. So for those of you watching the video podcast right now, we're going to drop a little clip of the hockey shuffle featuring Mr. Georges Laraque in that right now.
We doing the dance, gonna get yourself in trouble. It's the hockey shuffle, we do it in town. Take 2 steps forward, then we turn it around. Stop, clap, touch the ground. Throw some elbows while we breaking it down.
So the concept for that video, you know, for the people who are just listening to the podcast, Mr. Georges Laraque is the bouncer at the club, not letting us in to perform at our own show.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of sneak around you when you chase us down this long, dark hallway, the longest, darkest hallway getting chased by Georges Laraque ever. And just to get to the stage to perform. You killed your performance in that.
Actually, no. You guys killed it. You guys were the singer. I didn't do much. You guys are the true rappers. So, no, what you guys did was amazing. Everything, the dance, everything you guys did, the choreography, I thought it was awesome, and it brought a lot of energy to the city.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Let's talk about those times. What was it like playing for an Edmonton Oilers crowd? Because they talk about the loudness of Rogers Place all the time. So you've experienced that firsthand. What does that energy feel like?
You know, in Rexall, because the building was more closed in, it was not open like Rogers Place, so the sound was even louder. Because, you know, the sound is like, our ears were buzzing. It was so loud. I know a lot of people were putting even like plug in their ear because it was shaking. The dressing room was shaking. We're walking down the hallway before going on the ice. We had shivers going down our spine. And we're like, guys, we got to keep this noise going. So the first 10 minutes, all we try to do takes everyone's head off. And every time we hit someone, if I hit someone, they scream even louder.
Yes.
And it's like we were all invincible. Like, it's all like with the noise, we had like Superman cape in the back and we're flying, and all of a sudden guys that weren't hitting were hitting. And then the other team were like that team is possessed. What's going on with them? And that was the sound. It was so intimidating playing Edmonton because of that. It's not that the sound is intimidating for the other team. It's how the home team respond
How it
with that
energizes
noise.
you.
Exactly. And it
Yeah.
was something that I'll never forget.
That's crazy. So it really does change the way that you would play and excite the team and energize the team that way.
No,
hey?
because think about it. You're a player. You heard that noise. You're like, it motivates you. You're like, oh my God. And you want to be the guy that maybe scored the first goal. So
Make
that
them
noise
scream
goes
louder.
into another level, right?
Yes.
And that's why often the other team, there's two things. They try to score the first goal to shut the crowd down, or they weather the storm,
Right.
which means let's be defensive for the first 10 minutes because that level of intensity lasts for about half a period with the noise and everything, where you play at a climax that is with like
Unsustainable.
Yeah, exactly. And after 10 minutes, it kind of cooled down because it is impossible to maintain that for an entire game, that intensity.
And you talk about going out there and immediately taking someone's fucking head off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so what is that energy? Do we need more of that in the game today? Is
Well-
that something that's changed?
Well, now hockey has changed a lot, right? Most of the hits that we did back then, today, they're penalties.
Yeah.
So it's not as physical as it used to be. So now, the big difference from 2006 to now is 2006, we're taking head off. And now you got McDavid or Draisaitl doing a hand-to-hand, like coast-to-coast, unbelievable goal that get the crowds going, right? The team was built differently.
Right.
We were built back then, a team that we didn't have much money. We were a fourth-line team, like a four-line team that everybody played and physical. And hockey back then was physical hockey. Everybody was finishing their check, hard-nosed Oilers hockey, make it like not fun for a team to play us best out of seven, right? So that's how we were built. But now the Oilers are built mostly on skills. So hockey is completely different. But what I do love is that now at home, guys are recognizing that the physical play does bring energy in the fans because you cannot score every minute. You cannot score every, playoff is defensive, right? But physical play always bring the best out of the fans.
Did you always know that? Did you always enjoy fight? Like, obviously you enjoyed it in the game, fighting and being an enforcer and playing hard. Were you always like that? I find like a lot of, for example.
Hold on. You assumed that I enjoyed it.
But you didn't.
No, I hated it. I never liked fighting.
Really?
Like when I was a kid, I was a goal scorer. I never thought I was ever fight. When I'd score more than 100 goals a year. It was insane. And when puberty hit me, I was 16 years old, and I knew that if I wanted to play in the NHL, I had to add fighting to my game. So nobody forced me to do so. I played junior hockey. I wanted to be drafted. So I could have played junior hockey without fighting. My last year junior hockey, I averaged a point a game. But to be in the NHL, averaging a point a game at 19 years old is normal. Everybody should do that if you're a good player. But if you add fighting to it, in an era when there was a lot of it, then you're showing that you're not just one-dimensional player. I take pride that all my year in the NHL, if you look at the stats of the tough guys, I had the best stats, offensive stats of all the tough guys that were there, because most of them didn't play. I played in the playoff when most of them don't play in the playoff. So coming to that, okay, I didn't like it, but for me, hockey has more positive than negative. But I was like, if I don't like fighting, my mindset was, I might as well be the best at it, so I don't have to do it as much. Because if you're recognized as the best at it to do it,
No one's going to want to fight you.
no, not that. No one's going to take liberty with your team. Because you fight to respond to something.
Right.
If somebody takes liberty to your team, if a game is getting out of hand, there's so many things that could happen that you have to step in. After my reputation was established, people didn't take liberty against their team. People were careful because they didn't want to fight me. And that right there, your presence was enough that you could just play the game, play physical, and you don't have to worry about the other physical guys like taking abuse to your team. So that's why I was like, the better reputation that I had, didn't have to do it as much. And then it made it easier because I didn't like it, but If you don't like to do something, do it perfectly so you don't have to do as much.
I love that. That's great. Was that hard for you to be thought of in that way? That, oh, this is a big guy. No one wants to fuck with him. He must love fighting, and sort of overlooking the skill set that you had, like the talent that you had that got you there. Was that tough? Did it overshadow the skill at some point?
Okay, so to be honest with you, playing the NHL for me, the way I looked at it is we're entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
We're there to entertain people that come watch the game at home. But it's not, there's things in life much more important than that. I didn't care. I could care less what people thought about me on the ice, whether they thought I was a goon, one-dimensional player, or even a complete player in terms of tough guys, whatever. I didn't care. The only thing that I care is off the ice, what I did with a platform that hockey has given me. And people that knew me as a tough guy on the ice, when they got to know me off the ice, and when people realized that the Oilers assigned someone to me to do charity work 3 to 4 times a week, people got to know the real person.
Mm-hmm.
To me, showing the real person to people in Edmonton was much more important than showing the guy that could fight on the ice, because that is not important. And if we love the fans, we love the support, and we love everything about the city, that the energy that brings to us, what do we do in return? Are you there for the fans? When they want an autograph, do you ignore them? You talk to them? You take picture with them? You go see their children at the hospital when they're sick? You go support them? Because going to see a kid that is sick just because he wore that jersey could make him smile even though he's in pain. How much is that worth? Much more than any contract that we could be signing. And to me, I think that's what my love with the city happens. The connection with the fans that I had, that go beyond the hockey player that I was here, and all the fights that I've had when I was here. I think that's why I connect so much all the time when I come to the city, that I still consider home, because there's so many great stories that I've had here outside of hockey, story that could make you cry. And to me, those are the things that I'll remember forever. The hockey side of it, it was fun. Yes, I remember 2006, the run and everything. It's too bad we lost. But the thing that I'll cherish the most is not even the hockey memories. It's the city, is the people, and the experience that I had with people in the city.
I appreciate you so much, man. Our city appreciates you too. I think that's why you have become such an icon for the Oilers and for Edmonton, because of what you've done outside of hockey. That was one thing that I always appreciated about you during the season, is what you were doing outside of the season. No fan was ever too small for you to give an autograph, give a smile, and show kindness, even through the bounce stuff. I was working in the building when you were there with the Quamster and doing that radio show, and your kindness came out in every way, talking to every fan that came. And I think that really goes such a long way. I appreciate that, because that is part of what you sign up for. And honestly, I don't think that everybody fills that end of their deal.
Well, again, it's a personal choice though, right?
Yeah.
Some people are too shy. Some people are just not comfortable. Some people just want to play hockey.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people refuse to play in Canada. Because in Canada, like, hockey is such a religion that sometimes it demands more out of the players, right? There's more pressure. If you don't play good in Canada, the fan knows the sport good enough, and they'll criticize you, they'll boo you, right? In the States, I played in Phoenix. We had like 2 paragraphs, like 1 paragraph after a win or after a loss. No media was there. Nobody cared, The people, they know hockey as much, so it wasn't the same thing. So that's why I appreciate playing in a true market and stuff, and it was amazing that I played in Montreal and Edmonton.
Did you have to train for the fighting part of your game the same way you trained for all the other parts of your game? Was there like a boxing training on, did you have to practice that stuff on skates?
I actually did. Franco Sestito, a good friend of mine that lived in Edmonton, a trainer, and I started to train fighting, but on the ice. Because the thing is, when you do padding off the ice, you do boxing. When you go back on the ice, it gives you bad habit.
Right.
Because you're not planted on your feet when you fight on the ice. You're off balance, so it's better to do it on the ice. So I would do padding with him on the ice and stuff like this to get used to be out of balance when I get into real fights. And I perfectioned that with many other things. And now today, there's many NHL guys that I train to show them how to fight, to show them how to defend themselves. publicly, I could tell you the one that is known publicly, Jacky, Pezzetta, and the other guys, they want to keep it confidential. There's other guys too.
Yeah.
But and I do it for free. It's a brotherhood to me, and it's an honor that people still ask me help. And there's one thing that I could tell you is I could still hold my own pretty good.
That's cool, man. I know we believe it. No one's gonna test that, brother. No one's gonna take liberties. Okay, we believe that. That's what I was gonna ask you. Has it become a thing where are there trainers specifically for that for fight other than yourself?
The thing is, guys, they do whatever it takes to get ready for the season, right? And it's just guys reached out to me asking me if I could help them. They've heard by the grapevine that I was helping some guys, and then could you help me too? And it's not just about helping heavyweights; it's helping guys how to defend yourself, because there's a code in the NHL, and the code, what that is if one of your teammates gets done a cheap shot, you got to jump in even if you're not a fighter. So these guys also want to know how to defend themselves and how to. If ever something was to happen that they have to drop the glove, right? Even if you're not a fighter, sometimes it could happen at any moment. So that's why there's some guys that you'd be surprised. Some skilled guy. There's actually some guys that have never even fought in the NHL that I'm helping and stuff, just so they're more comfortable in case if something was to happen.
Yeah. I remember you were a guest speaker on a panel at an event we did a couple years ago, a virtual event during COVID. Huge hit. You were sharing some of the craziest stories. What's a story that stands out to you? Give us like a behind the scenes locker scene with somebody or on the ice. Is there anything? Give us a crazy hockey story that stands out.
Okay, I'll give you one. Okay.
Keep it as clean or as dirty as you want.
Okay, no, I won't swear though, because I have kids. I don't want to give it a great example, but man, there's so many. But have you ever heard of Brent Myers' story?
No.
Okay, so Brent Myers, is a former tough guy, and he went in rehab, because he had a couple of problems and stuff, and after going through rehab, he had a trial with the Calgary Flames, and his dad was there in the stand. It was an exhibition game against the Oilers, and his dad was there to cheer him on for the first game the first game his son was going to play after coming out of rehab, and he's trying out for the Calgary Flames. And there's an exhibition game against Battle of Alberta against the Oilers. And I knew Brent Myers pretty good, former tough guy, trained together in the summer or whatever, skating together. So I knew who he was. The morning skate of it, the media, Edmonton media, came up to me and he told me that we talked to Brent Myers and he told us that he wanted to go with you tonight.
Oh, boy.
I was so upset about the fact that he said that, that because there's not written rule that if you have to ask me because it's an exhibition game and then you want to make the Calgary Flame, I kind of expected and knew that this could happen because he has to make the team. Playing Edmonton, Calgary, you got to ask me, right? Even though I knew him. But to tell the media you're going to go after me, I'm like, what a lack of respect. I have to kill him. So I was so upset after I talked to the media that I went back to the hotel to grab my stuff, and I went back to the dressing room and I just sat there the entire time. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was just focusing on him, and I said, I'm going to take his head off. I'm going to kill him. I was so upset.
I'm scared
So,
just listening to this
I'm sitting in a
story.
dressing room, and guys are seeing me, and they're like, poor him.
Yeah.
Poor him.
Your team knows.
So anyway, Brent Myers jumped on the ice. I go on. I said, let's go. We fought.
Immediately?
Oh, right away. I give one punch, a second punch, done.
Done.
He went to the hospital. I broke his face. He almost lost his eye. I broke his orbital bone. They had to put a metal plate in his face. He never played a game again. He retired after that. He had to stop. He wrote it in his book. But the crazy story, the reason why I wanted to tell you this, I was still upset after the game, and I called him. And I said, I'm sorry that, your face and all that stuff. I'm sorry. Because you never meet to really kill someone when you want to kill someone, right?
Right.
But I was like, why did you tell the media that you want to go after me? He's like, George, I never said that.
Oh, no.
And then I found out later, confronted the media about it. And he said, I just wanted to see a fight. So he made it up. He made up something that got me to fight, because I never fought mad when I fought in the NHL.
Yeah.
If I fought mad, I could kill someone
Right.
because I was already as strong as it was.
Yeah.
But I was never mad. I
Yeah.
was just
If
a
your
guy that if a
intention
guy was
was
down, I
there.
would stop.
Right.
I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill the media because I heard of my friend like that. And we probably would have fought, but it wouldn't have had that result.
Right.
But I was so enraged
Yeah.
in a room sitting for a joke.
Jeez.
That's a crazy story.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So do you talk to him now?
Yeah, we do. We do. He even talked about it in his book.
Okay.
In his book and stuff. Do you wanna actually let's do an opposite. Do you want a crazy story outside the ice? Something
Yeah.
that I was telling you earlier, charity wise?
Okay, sure.
Okay, this one is one of the best stories ever. So I was doing ton of charity work, and the Stolly children, they had my phone number. And every time a kid wanted to see me, I would go to Stolly and go see him. One time, we're in vacation or whatever. I don't remember what time it was of the year, but I'm in Calgary because I do a stop in Calgary before I go to Banff. And the nurse called me and asked me if I could see this kid. His name is Jordan Clam. He has muscular dystrophy, and he has a couple hours to live. I drove back to Edmonton as fast as I could. I think I made it an hour and 45 minutes.
Jeez.
I knew I had Angel that was looking after me, but I wanted to get back there before he passes away. So when I get to the room, Jordan Clem is there, and his whole family is there. People are crying, and then they're crying and they're smiling. Like there's mixed emotion, right? Because I'm coming and stuff, and they're happy that I'm there, and I make Jordan smile even though he's in pain, right? Because he's supposed to have a couple hours to live. And I think even the priest was there. So the family's there. So I spend some time with Jordan. I give him a jersey. I hug him. I talk to him, give him courage and stuff. And I kind of got used to be in rooms that even in moments that are heavy like this, you got to come in and bring spirit so they remember that maybe in his last moment he was smiling, right? So I spend some time with him. I give him a hug. Some time I talk to him, and the family see that, and people are touching by this gesture and stuff, and I leave. A week later, there's an article that came out in a journal, and I still have it. And it's the aunt of Jordan Clam that talks about an angel that came to visit Jordan Clam. And that day, we were not ready to see him go. After that visit, it got him such an emotional boost. He lived a week more. Think about it. There is no medication, nothing that could have given a week more that day. But from a simple visit from a guy that pushed a puck for a living, they got him a week more. At that moment, I realized how much power we have as athletes with kids, what we could do. I couldn't believe it. I was crying when I was reading that letter. I was like, oh my God, I'm nobody. I'm not even the best player on the team. I'm a tough guy and fighting people or whatever. And then I had that impact on that kid. And that's from that moment on that I asked the team to assign someone to me for charity work to do as much as I could. It's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do as much as I could because of the impact that I had with him. So when I was telling you earlier that hockey, that is so non-important. It's a sport. We're entertainers. With the platform that we have, what we do with it, this is what's really important.
I want to give you a standing O right now, man. What an incredible story. The human spirit, the impact that you were able to have with Jordan. What a truly remarkable story, man.
And everyone in this current roster could have the same impact on any kid in the hospital right now.
Of course.
Because they're playing right now. Those kids don't know me.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing. They weren't born when I was playing.
Yeah.
But these guys right now on this roster, each single one of them, because they see me on TV, could have that impact.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, man, that story, man. That's really dope. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I'm sure Jordan and his family do, and all of them.
Actually, there's a couple of times that I've seen some member of his family in different function group, and I've told that story so many times that they thank me for reminding people of that and stuff of that story.
Yeah, really cool, man. Really cool. Talk to us about this fit right now. So let's change gears. You're in town, of course, for Game 6. We're going to get to that because this episode will drop day of Game 6.
Yeah.
But what's going on with this fit right now? And tell me about this shirt and your collab with Snoop Diggy Dogg right now.
You know, it's funny. I pick up my son at school today, and he's like, "Dad, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't." He's like, "Don't ever pick me up at school dressed like this.
Don't come out of the car,
I'm gonna
Dad."
get bullied."
Yeah.
And I told him the reason why I'm dressed like this. I'm going to the Snoop Dogg concert.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a collab with him. We'll be holding the Oilers jersey, doing an official picture.
Yeah.
This is the suit he wore at the Super Bowl.
Crazy.
And then
The performance with Dre and Eminem and
And then I figured to represent, like, I would wear the same thing he wore, and then to hold the Oilers jersey together, and then you'll love that because this is his merch.
Yeah.
He owns Death Row.
Yeah.
He owns it. So I figured wearing his clothing and stuff with him, taking a picture, he'd find that dope and stuff, right? Because I felt so honored about that. He's doing a Canadian tour, and he's done a collab with NHL Enforcer in each city that he goes to.
Yeah.
So each city that he goes to, there's a collab with an NHL Enforcer that is there. So a Death Row jersey with the Enforcer and Snoop on a jersey.
right.
And when he came to Montreal, he did Jack High and Chris Nolan, but they were asking me if I wanted to do it. And I'm like, I knew it was coming to Edmonton. I was like, no way. I'm not doing Montreal Death Row. No.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Let's
I was
go.
there the longest. This is the team I was there the longest, the team that drafted me, the team I got the hat-trick, the team that had my best season.
Let's go.
Forget it.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So that's why it's like, yes, I saw him in Montreal. I give him a Montreal jersey, but now we're going to do the right thing in Edmonton.
I love it.
With the Oilers jersey, and then the collab, as you see, Death Row, which is his line. It's just an honor to be, kind of associated with him with that. I have a lot of clothing from his company and stuff, and his record. I used to listen to it all the time when I played. I know in the Oilers dressing room, sometimes they would break my CD and put country music instead. And I'd be like, guys, I cannot fight if I'm listening to your cows getting sick and your girlfriend left you. That rhythm,
It's too sad.
It does not work.
Doesn't
I
move
need
me.
some hard move rap
Yes.
to get me going
Let's
because I have
go.
to fight for you guys.
Let's go.
But yeah, the majority were country guys in the dressing room all the time.
It's Alberta.
Yeah, I know.
It's Alberta.
I never got used to it. The only country that I could accept is Shania Twain because it's more like rock country.
Yeah.
But,
and poppy. It's kind of
yeah,
poppy
yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
And she's cute. She looks great. She still performs really well. She's got a great voice. But I mean, in 2006, we gave him a hip hop banger to listen to. We gave him an Oilers song and an Oilers anthem with you on the intro. So hopefully you were playing that in the locker room. This year, we got another track that so we just performed that together in the booth. We ran into each other. I wanted to come out to your event. DJ Quake was out there as well. That just happened today over at Nabi, kind of promoting this Death Row Hockey shirt that you had. And so we got to sit down and say hi and got you to sign my shirt for my boys, Red and Gray.
Actually, RJ, let's give you some credit, okay? Everyone listen to this, okay? Everybody's probably seen the movie 8 Mile with Eminem, what he's done, the battle and everything. RJ left the battle and he created a song before I got here. He left like, not the battle, what I mean, he left like the signing of the shirt that I was doing. He had an idea in his head. He asked me to come to his office and he prepares a song, this crazy song that is amazing. Not in a week, in a couple hours before I got here, the song is ready and he just makes it like this. You're like Eminem Jr.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hey, when you call the phone, we answer. So we had to be ready. We had to be ready for a proper song.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah.
I came in there, it's like that song, and then asked your partners, like, oh no, he just made that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You inspired
did
me,
you
bro.
help him? He's like, actually, he called me in the car and he was already writing it up.
Yeah.
He already had an idea. That's remarkable because I did do a song once, kind of like what you did.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months.
Yeah.
And then you did that in a couple hours.
Well, I mean, and I would imagine it would take me that long to train for a fight also, you know what I mean? And train for the skills that you have on the ice. So we do different things. I have fun doing this. You have fun doing what you do. You inspire me. It was an honor to do that. I was excited to just sit down and reconnect. And so when you said that you were going to come to the studio, I'm like, well, we have to do this again. We got to do part 2 of the anthem. And I'm glad we did that. It was actually 20 minutes I wrote the song in, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, because I had to pick up the kids. You went to pick up the kids, and then we just met back here,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So listen, I'm glad we got to put it together. Bump the song. We just put out the I don't even have a name for the song yet. Ethan, what should we call the song? Huh? No, it will not be called the Hockey Shuffle 2.
Why not? Oh, no, I know why. I know there's a reason why you can't. It's in 2006 we lost.
That's
With
right.
that title. Hockey Shuffle 2 will be a repeat of 2006 that we lost in Game 7.
Bad
now we're
juju.
going to win in Game 7.
Bad
so
juju.
you got to get a title that has nothing to do with Hockey Shuffle, a winning title.
What's the winning title, bro? What's the winning title? You heard the...
Well, a winning title that has something to do like back from the dead. And I'll tell you why. In a season and Thanksgiving, we're out of the playoff. 75% of the team out of the playoff in Thanksgiving don't make the playoff. And we did, back from the dead.
Back from the
What
dead.
happened in the playoff? How many times we're down in the playoff? In a series that we came back, and in this final, down 3 games, we're gonna tie it up tomorrow. Back from the dead again.
Yeah.
You gotta find us something that is like
Back
we're
from the
never
dead.
always alive, never dead. Like always.
Never fold. Well, the chorus starts, never fold, never flop, never back down. No, we want the cup back in E-Town.
So you gotta find something that has to do with like Undertaker, like
I
something
like it.
that we're never dead.
I like it.
Undertaker, something like that. I don't know. You think about what do you
Yeah.
think of Undertaker?
Yeah. I like the never dead.
But
Never.
anyway, listen, with the lyrics that you found, I'm not the guy to tell you what to do for title. You're the best guy to find it. But you know what direction to go, and I'm sure the title we'll find will be perfect.
Listen, when we name the song, download the song, stream the song. It's fire. Big G Laraque himself is on the intro, back in the booth. And George, what an honor. What an honor to have you here back in town, and that you consider Edmonton you still consider Edmonton home.
Yeah.
And every time we get to sit down and chat, I just like fall in love with you and your story even more, and what you brought not only to the sport and to our city, but to our community as a whole. That's why you're such an icon here. That's why you are so respected. And I'm so grateful to have you on this episode, brother. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, my number. Anytime you need me, give me a call.
Let's go, baby.
Yes.
Let's go. Listen, what do we got to do tonight? Because this drops tomorrow. What do we got to do to win? Tell us what the game plan needs to be.
Well, I just think that Bobrovsky is back to being a human now.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy because before the game,
chink in the armor.
Before the game, we beat him 8-1 when they were up 3-0. He was gonna win the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
He was unpenetrable. And after we broke him, just look at Connor's bad angle goal that he did last game.
Crazy.
He's broken.
Yeah.
And now Skinner, which had up and down the playoff, is doing better than him.
Is performing.
Like Skinner did it against Dallas. Struggling in the beginning. And then in the last couple of games, the most important game,
Killed it.
he outdid Ottinger. Who would have thought that Skinner would have been better than Ottinger that was wet out in the playoff? Against Florida, you look at Bobrovsky, you like Skinner, mismatch. People were like Florida in 4 and 5. Skinner struggled a bit. And then now, he's outdoing Bobrovsky at the right moment, right now.
Yes.
They have no answer for the others. So I think tomorrow is not going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to take it to them. It's not going to be as close as it was in Florida. And actually in Florida, it's just the third was exciting because, you know, they were coming back, but we're pretty much in control in the beginning of it. Our penalty killing and Connor Brown, oh my, unsung hero.
Yeah.
Unsung hero in the playoff.
Short-handed, crazy.
We celebrated when he scored his first goal. He got a standing O.
Yeah.
People were mocking him, and now he's the unsung hero of the series.
Yes.
2 short-ending goals, 2 games in a row, never happened in the playoff. And this team, by the way, how good is their penalty killing?
Yeah.
Amazing. It's our destiny.
Yeah.
It's our destiny. We're going to win a decisive game 6, and coming back to Florida, they'll be so shaken up.
Yeah. won't know
McDavid,
what
by
hit
the
him.
way, is playing like a god. Like God. If you want to see God on skate, that's McDavid.
Yeah.
There's no way to just describe how good that he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Dope. And just going back to Skinner, and this is not because I'm biased because we produced the commercial, but other people are also saying that maybe it has something to do with his California Closets commercial that Skinner has been doing. I don't know if you've seen that.
See that. No, I
Okay,
didn't
so
see. I didn't see.
you know, there people are making jokes that he's like been relaxing in his California closets and his game is on point.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny because some people I know I was hearing some comment. people saying that he looks too relaxed and almost like he doesn't care when he gets scored out. I just want to remind these guys, these people that think that Carey Price, which was the best goalie in the last 10 years in the NHL, was the most calm goalie ever. Even if he got scored on, he was cool, he was calm, and he was the best in our generation. So it's not because Skinner is calm that he doesn't care. You know, everybody has their own style. And he's young, and he got put in his position too fast. It's not his fault. Jake Campbell was supposed to be number one. Skinner was supposed to learn from Jake Campbell. It's not what happened. So he became, by default, the number one really fast. A goalie is a position that takes years to mature. He's doing well. He's going to win the cup this year. He's still going to get better. So let's relax.
I like where your head is at, Big G. Thank you again so much, man. Truly an honor to have you back in town. Thank you for coming and appearing on this episode and for rocking that song together.
Awesome. Thank you for the invite, brother.
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you.
Peace.